still able to generate carbon credits when they reduce their energy consumption? That question needs to be looked at from a carbon project feasibility perspective, where various arguments surrounding public funding and additionality will have to be considered in order to understand whether or not an energy efficiency project that has received ESCOM funding would still be eligible for carbon credits or not. Right. We have a question regarding electricity supply where a factory is receiving electricity directly from the municipality and not from ESCOM. The tariffs are substantially different, and the listener wants to know if they can insist on getting their electricity from ESCOM, if they are willing to pay the connection fee, or if they can refuse this. That's a very challenging question to answer because each site is different. The connection fee is not the only fee you need to examine. It's also the infrastructure fee. So often your facility will be placed in an area where the infrastructure was provided by the municipality. This is the cabling, substations, etc. And these costs are generally quite high. You would have to approach the municipality and ESCOM to see if a tariff change and a provider change can be done. I would say that yes, they could refuse this if the costs were too high for them to implement such a change. Right, I have another question. What is the largest energy savings that you have identified for a client in both energy and cost savings? The general energy savings you see in facilities are in a commercial facility between 20 and 30%, and in an industrial facility between 8 and 20%. So depending on the size of the facility indicates the different sizes of energy savings that I've achieved. The largest that I've achieved is in a big industrial facility where we saved a client over 350,000 Rand a month, which equated to around about 2.5 million kilowatt hours per annum. This was a significant energy saving as it equated to around about 19% of an industrial site's energy bill. Another question, is ESCOM going ahead with their low power factor penalty from 1 July 2011? ESCOM already penalizes you on your low power factor through their maximum demand charges. Your maximum demand charges are associated to your power factor as a result of, if you look at your kilowatts you use in a facility, your power factor influences what your maximum demand that your build is. So ESCOM are currently penalizing people for low power factor at the moment, and some tariff regions are even charging people for reactive power, which is also a penalty for low power factor. Do you need to be an electrical engineer to do an energy audit? The answer to that is you need to have experience in an energy environment. So electrical and mechanical engineers are ideally suited to conducting energy efficiency audits, as they have not only the systems and technical knowledge, but also the ability to examine systems and to ensure that they operate within health and safety. However, there are training programs in South Africa that allow for people who are not qualified engineers to go through training programs to understand energy consumption, energy consuming devices, and to understand how to conduct an energy efficiency audit. So the answer is no, you don't need to be an engineer to conduct an energy efficiency audit, but it is very advisable to be well trained in energy and energy efficiency. Are universities the only M&V bodies? Currently, the universities are used by ESCOM for M&V. So whilst there are certified measurement and verification professionals in South Africa who can do a full baseline study for a client. In terms of energy efficiency projects and ESCOM funding, only certain universities are M&V bodies for ESCOM. Right. Question regarding, can you help us with a new building in determining the best energy efficient technology to install? Yes, that involves looking at the requirements of the building and what needs to be done in terms of what the building has to do or what the facility has to do. So the best procurement choices are often choices that are made when full life cycle costing is taken into account. So whilst it might not be the cheapest upfront cost, it will be the lowest life cycle cost as the operating costs are significantly lower. This is a service that GCX offers in identifying and helping companies to build green, efficient, and environmentally friendly buildings. What kind of resources does my company need to undertake an audit like this? Do you do everything? An energy efficiency audit is a collaboration between energy engineers, such as ourselves, as well as the current staff in a company. So if we take a manufacturing environment, for example, the energy engineers from GCX would work in conjunction with the maintenance and engineering staff of that manufacturing environment to ensure that everything is clearly understood. So the resources your company would need would be time from personnel in a company to give to the energy engineers to ensure that the most accurate data is collected. Right. A majority of commercial entities receive preferential energy rates from ESCOM, and as such any new energy savings technologies are prohibitive in cost and not easy to justify when we still receive subsidized energy. When do you see this cost versus benefit changing and thus motivating a quicker response and implementation of energy saving initiatives in South Africa? The current energy rates in South Africa are rising very quickly, and even companies who receive preferential rates are still eligible for ESCOM funding. This ESCOM funding will significantly reduce the cost of implementation. In South Africa. So I see it currently being a very attractive investment to undertake energy efficiency, even if you are receiving preferential energy rates, mainly due to the ESCOM funding that has been made available. Right, I have a question surrounding maximum demand. How long do you have to exceed 1,000 kVA, for example, to be charged on 1,000 kVA for your demand charge? That question is surrounding the averaging interval on your electricity tariff, which is normally set to 15 minutes or half an hour. So if your average maximum demand is 1,000 kVA over a period of 15 minutes, you will be charged for that as your maximum demand. Right. We have a question regarding auditing an entire facility or just looking at specific areas or processes in a facility. The question is, we have a small industrial plant using boilers and various motors to transport materials within. Do you have to do the whole facility, or can you do an audit of just a specific area or process in the facility? Whilst it's ideal to look at the entire facility, that's to see how systems can be integrated and how systems work together. You can still look at an audit of just a specific area. However, you will have to look at the external variables that influence that area, such as if you were to just look at a boiler, you would also look to see if there were areas around the facility that could utilize waste heat. So yes, it is possible to look at just a specific area, but you would ideally look at the whole facility. So that's it for today. Thank you for your time, and I would like to invite you to attend our next webinar that will also be surrounding energy and ongoing energy monitoring. Thank you very much for your time, and please drop me an email at kenr@globalcarbonexchange.com, and please take the time to visit our website at globalcarbonexchange.co.za. Thank you very much.